through Google Forms, and we were wondering, like, does everyone know what Gator Ready is? Because that's a QR code. It's an app through the track for you to like track your career readiness through like this portfolio that translates into skills. Um, there's a screenshot of my screen. You basically just scan the QR codes as you would for attendance. And it just like tracks skills that you would gain in any of your involvements in the business college. And the whole point of it is to report it throughout UF to like recruiters and stuff so they can show like so they can see like what skills you've gained through your involvement. So it's on the app Suitable. If you download it now, you can log in. You can sign in at the end of the meeting because I'll have the screen back up. But go ahead and sign in.
It says invalid QR code for Gator Ready.
For Gator, it's not working.
Yeah, it works for me.
It works for you.
Maybe it runs the other one.
You have to scan it through the app.
Yeah.
not your camera.
Our side.
Yeah, you scan the Gator Ready through the app Suitable. It's probably going to take a while to download, so like at the end of the meeting, I'll still have it up for everyone to have the QR code for. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. We have a presentation from Sales in the Swamp. You can come up here.
Hey guys.
Thank you. Hey guys, so my name is Jane and I'm here to represent the very first sales competition here at UF. It's actually called Sales in the Swamp. So what this competition does is that it will provide a very safe environment for those who want to practice their selling skills. I know that we all have this like mental stigma when it comes to sales, but I promise you it's going to be something different because a lot of the times doesn't matter what your background, whether you're finance, accounting, info system, marketing, or just business in general, you will encounter a situation where you will need to convince the other side to your ideas. So this competition will provide you with a really good practice how to properly prospect to the people, how to convince them of your ideas, and worst case, how to handle objections. And some financial rewards that we have is we have really generous financial prizes. So if you want to go to the competition to represent your organization, you can, or you can go alone, and all that money will be yours. So besides the financial situation, we also have opportunities for you to go talk to the recruiters. So if you're looking for just networking, it will also be a really great event. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Oh yeah, scan the QR code. Registration is closed on November 12th.
Yes. Okay, so registration closed on the 12th. Scan the QR code. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. So, welcome back. It's GBM4. Time flies. We are 4/6 of the way through. That's 2/3. And today our speaker is Know4, which is a tech company. And yeah, again, this month's pillar is leadership. And you can help your leadership skills by joining a committee. They start 6:15, 15 minutes before the GBMs. Oh my God, the pizza's here. Way too early, but okay. So you can join a committee. We have marketing, finance, community service, and sustainability, where you get to help the VPs who run them, learn more about their role and help them plan fundraisers and different events. Ellie, you can go ahead and share this.
Hello guys, just another reminder that to come to meetings, to fill out the feedback form and all of our events to get points. Points are considered when you're applying for e-board members e-board positions next spring, as well as chair positions next spring. So show up to as much as you can. Thank you.
Is it working? Okay, thank you, Ellie. Yes, we're gonna upload the point sheet to Facebook after the meeting. The only thing that's not updated is last week's events and this week's events.
Okay. So if you haven't followed us on Instagram already, you should. That's where we post like all like updates and like things that's going on and events that we're having. Also join the group me so you can like communicate with other women in Fwib and just keep in contact and stuff like that.
Also check out Kyla's like follow.
Oh yeah, she also
today. She like
yeah.
She was posting on the Instagram, so keep up with her and her day. And
Yeah.
like we're all gonna have our own Insta takeovers. So
Yeah, we're all gonna do Instagram takeovers in like the next couple weeks. So yeah, it could be fun. And then add us on like us on Facebook and follow us on Facebook. We will also be posting like all the events and stuff on there, and like yeah, and our website too. Our website will have like all the events and like old recordings of the Zoom, and also like the newsletters and like all the old newsletters and stuff too. So yeah.
And then Study Edge, use the code Fwib for 5% off, and all those purchases go back to Fwib. And general announcements, there's our LinkedIn if you haven't followed and you want to follow. And tomorrow we're going to be at Warrington Wednesday from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. So come join us for donuts and coffee. We'll be tabling with the Global Business Society and HLC. So if you want to go out and learn more about them and grab a donut, go right ahead.
okay. Thanks guys for coming to the social media marketing website on Friday. We had a good turnout. So appreciate that. If you have any other marketing workshop ideas or any workshops in general, just like reach out to me or any of the other people on eBoard. I'm sure someone will be happy to plan something for you if you want like a certain workshop. And as always, order a t-shirt. We have them over here. Just text me if you want one or come find me after the meetings. You get points for them. So, yeah.
Finance presentations begin. Okay, so yeah, there's committees before every meeting. If you want to join, you should join. And then Headshot fundraiser coming soon. And we'll be posting about it on all socials, which is like you should follow us on Facebook and stuff like that because we'll be posting updates on that too.
Hey everyone, so not this week, but next week on Friday, we're going to be having another virtual event. It's a Smithsonian transcribing event, and that's just a way we can take historical documents and make them more accessible. And then for local opportunities, there's the Child Advocacy Center, and that's a center that helps children who have been abused or neglected, and they have support there for them. So there's volunteering opportunities if you have limited availability. They have special event volunteers, and then also if you're interested in internships, they also provide those, case management, marketing, and things like that. So yeah, check that out.
Okay, and for professional development, Heavener Leadership Challenge, which is HLC, who you'll see tomorrow if you go to Warrington Wednesday and get donuts, they're having an info session tomorrow at 7 in Heavener 160. You can learn more about HLC. It's a great opportunity to start your leadership skills and start building them. And the Goldman Sachs, the 2022 Virtual Possibilities Summit. It's a 3-week program with interactive workshops, and the link to register is on Facebook. And the deadline is Sunday, November 28th. And then lastly, Aldi's having some full-time and internship positions. They have district managers for graduating seniors and master's students and district manager interns. You can apply on Gator Career Link. I'm sure it's on Hire Warrington too. And there's a QR code if you're interested.
Hey everyone. So for our socials coming up this Saturday, we do have a Florida Georgia watch party. We do have a carpool sign up sheet. There are no drivers right now, but if anybody can drive, you can sign up, and then people can sign up to go in their car and then just come to Cabana Beach. We are kind of far, but there is free parking available there, and also there's buses that go all the way over there if you guys are interested. It starts at 3:30. It's for the game, and it'll be at the pool, so if you guys want to, you can wear your bathing suits. And then on November 18th, we'll be doing a chit chat in color, and that will be in person, so more details to be announced. And then for our mentor mentee socials, we're going to have a photo scavenger hunt, and I'll be starting at Plaza of the Americas on November 4th, and then we have our mentor mentee Q&A on November 10th. And now we're going to do a Fwibtivity, and we're going to be playing Kahoot. So grab your phones. All right. Is everybody in? I think I'm gonna get okay, so we're gonna start. This is a Disney. This hopefully is a Disney related one for leadership skills. Do you guys want me to read the questions out loud? Visionary leaders realize that life is full of possibilities. What life lesson does Joe Gardner from Soul learn in Soul? I think this is multiple choice. Like you can pick more than one.
I've never had a Kahoot where you can pick multiple answers.
I was worried it was gonna work.
Wow. I don't know, you had like
Yeah, this one's multiple answers.
or whatever, and then Denise, did you make this?
No. This is the first one I found, and then I took forever to find another one. Okay, I think there's just two more people that need to answer. Okay, cool. Woo. So the answer. Okay. Okay.
This sucks. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, mine a lot like multiple. Oh, I think
A leader's inspirational vision motivates the greater team. What is Buzz Lightyear's favorite motto?
you are.
Oh no. Grace is in the lead. Recognition is a powerful tool to show appreciation for your team. Which token is the highest honor Carl bestows an up? Look at you, you're right. Ooh.
Lindsay got knocked off.
You got that one wrong. No.
In A Bug's Life, Flick tells Dot that she is still a seed that needs time and sunshine to grow. What does this story mean?
That's a good question. Like, do you give partial credit?
No, you get partial credit.
It's like it's not night.
In Ratatouille, chef, I can't say his name, claims anyone can cook. Do you believe that anyone can become a good leader?
Wait, is there a right answer?
What? What's the difference? I really. Okay. Oh, it's a new one.
Just for us.
Every leader needs a mentor to help them grow. How does Doc Hudson, a great mentor to Lightning McQueen in Cars?
Oh, I didn't see them. I haven't seen them in so long.
100%. No, wait, no, that
A team's differences can be their greatest assets. Which Monsters University team learns to play to their greatest strengths? Oh my gosh. Ooh. Having emotional intelligence is essential for success. Which leadership examples demonstrate a high degree of emotional intelligence? Dory's favorite inspirational quote is just keep swimming. How can a leader use this quote in a team setting? This you can pick multiple answers. Oh, it is. Merida asks if you had the chance to change your fate, would you? Do you believe you can be an agent of change? This is a poll. Thanks. Yay! Woo!
Yes! Yes, Ashley, you killed it.
And then we got one more. This one sadly is not Disney themed.
I always get like oddly competitive during Kahoot. like, I'm like really.
When you are working with a team, it is important to to be a leader, you need to be popular. In which of these situations can you be a leader?
I know his name.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just drop down.
Katie's catching up though. Which of these would a leader do?
What?
The following is a characteristic of a leader. Woohoo. What is it called when you listen to someone so closely that you could repeat what they said? Even if no one in your family went to college, you can. You can go to college. I was wondering where the rest of the question was. Every decision you make affects your future. It is too early for you to start making plans and goals for your life.
Yeah, I'm scared of that. Like, I know, I'm gonna like. Oh my god.
Looking at the ground and fidgeting while you are talking in front of a group of people is an example of. Standing straight and speaking clearly in front of a group is an example of. The following are important when you are giving a presentation. Not Lindsay. Good job, everyone. Thanks for playing.
That was fun. All right, so back to the presentation. Take it away, Kyla.
Hi, guys. I have the pleasure of introducing our guest speaker for tonight. Alyssa is here joining us virtually, and she will be speaking to you guys, as well as me, about some really important and cool topics. So I will give it over to her. Again, we thank her for spending the time with us here, and I hope you all take something from her presentation today.
Yay, thank you so much. Can everybody hear me just to confirm? Okay, great. And then I'm gonna share my screen. Is that okay? Because I see you're still screen sharing. Okay. All right. And then can we just get a thumbs up that you all can see my screen? Okay, perfect. All righty, so I'm so excited to be here tonight virtually. I am based out of the Tampa Bay area. My company is in Clearwater. So I was not able to trek all the way to Gainesville tonight. In honest truth, I just shoved a taco in my mouth like 5 seconds before jumping in here. So thank you for giving me some entertainment while I shoved my dinner in my face after a long busy day. But I'm really excited to meet you ladies and share a little bit about some of the leadership principles that I learned. I went to USF, don't hold it against me, my brother's a Gator and my boss is a Gator. So I got Gators all around, but I went to USF and I got a degree in public relations and I actually minored in leadership studies. So I'm very passionate about the topic of leadership and speaking about it. So today my presentation is all about jumpstarting your career. So whether that's in sales or marketing or PR or communications, a lot of these principles are really about leadership, but how they can really better yourself, your goals, your plan to really start your career. So before I jump into the program for this evening, what I wanted to do is just take a step back and tell you who I am and what company I work for. So I work for KnowBe4, which I know a lot of you probably have never heard of. I think maybe 1 or 2 of you I've talked to before. But KnowBe4 is a cybersecurity company. And we're really unique in the fact that we don't actually hire for a lot of cybersecurity jobs. We do have some, but they're not as common as some of our jobs in sales or marketing or PR. We have a really unique structure. So 50% of our company is sales, and then 50% is admin. So anything like HR, PR, finance, marketing, those types of roles. And so our company is really large. We're a global organization. And we have offices in 11 different countries, and we have about 1,000 employees. So really big opportunity for jobs. We're constantly growing, and we have about 50 different internship positions we're hiring for this summer, only for summer, not spring or fall. And one of the other unique opportunities I wanted to mention, just because it's time sensitive, is our Sales Career Accelerator program. Let me just say before I even talk about this, you don't have to be a sales student. You don't even have to be a business major. I don't even know if you technically have to be a business major to be in women in business. But this is a really great opportunity for people who are just like you ladies here in this room. You don't have to, be somebody that wants to be in sales or, wants a career in sales. You guys probably don't know that yet, right? You're still in school trying to figure out that next step. This program is really designed for people that want to better themselves, work on their professional development, sharpen their communication skills. These workshops are designed to really help you sharpen the skills that you have, practice the ones that you need feedback on, things like that. You get to network with our executives, our recruiters. They actually teach the sessions every single week. So you get to interact with our SVP of SMB sales every single week. And 80% of the students that did the Sales Career Accelerator were actually hired for internships or jobs last year. So again, the only reason I wanted to bring this up before we get to the good stuff is the application window is closing. It's pretty much already closed. We're trying to keep some spots open for some Gators because like I said, my boss went to UF. And so she really, really would love to see some more Gators in the program. So if you can and are interested, I would encourage you to apply tonight when you get back to your dorm or apartment or home. And in the morning, you should get an email back that says, thanks for your application. Please submit a quick up to 5-minute video explaining why you'd like to be selected for the program. So between today and tomorrow, it's a pretty quick process where you can submit it, and a recruiter should reach out to you and get an interview scheduled before next Wednesday so we can finalize our butts in seats, if you will. This program is virtual. It takes place the first and third Wednesday of the month from 4:30 to 6 in the afternoon. So it's pretty flexible to those of you that don't have a Wednesday class at that time. So I'll be happy to take any questions about it and the internships and all that good stuff at the end. But obviously, we're not here to talk about Know Before. We're not here to talk about jobs. We're here to, well, actually, I had a slide about the internship. Sorry, we have a lot of internships. I'll talk more about it at the end if you would like me to. But we're here to talk about jumpstarting your career. So brace yourselves because professional development is coming. Sorry, my love language is memes, so there's going to be a lot of that as we go on. But I wanted to start with kind of just a quick pulse, room temperature check here, pulse check, and just see what some of your thoughts are about leadership. What does leadership mean to you? Or what are some principles that you've heard about leadership? You can put them in the chat. You can unmute yourself. I see we have a microphone, maybe being ready to go around the room. What does leadership mean to you?
I think for me, leadership is kind of taking initiative to make sure that you're guiding others and acting as a role model.
Ooh, I like it. Taking initiative, acting as a role model. Okay, great. What other thoughts? What does leadership mean to you?
I think another important part of leadership is like actively working to connect with others and understand their perspectives and backgrounds.
Okay, working with others actively, getting their different perspectives, their backgrounds. I love that. Keeping diversity top of mind. Love it. Any other thoughts?
Sorry, we have a question or a comment in the
I see.
chat, and it says, leadership for me is all about showcasing confidence and encouraging others.
Love that. Okay, perfect. These are great examples. Thank you all for participating. I always like to think about the difference between leadership in terms of, a formal title or a formal role, and then you have leadership of self, right? Because when I think about leadership, for me, especially when I took a lot of classes in my minor about leadership, it wasn't just a formal title or, the fact that I, was in a manager job or had a formal leadership name, right? There's a lot of times where you're leading yourself. If you're in this room tonight, you're a leader, right? You're in a student organization. Even if you don't have an executive board title, you're not the president or vice president or treasurer or anything like that. You're still a leader being in this room because you're leading yourself, you're bettering yourself, you're getting into professional development, right? So I always like to think of it from that perspective as well. So it doesn't have to just be leading others. It's all about, for me, leading yourself as well. So just wanted to introduce that thought to you if you have never thought of it. This presentation is full of things. I feel like it's like Oprah's favorite things, but it's Alyssa's favorite things. So I'm also a big musical theater nerd. I love Grey's Anatomy. I love Star Wars. I love Oprah. There's a lot of that throughout this presentation. So the one thing in life that you can control, there might be a couple right answers to this question, but I'm wondering what you think the one thing in life is that you can control.
How you react to certain situations.
Okay, how you react to certain situations. Yes, pretty much. That's what I was getting at. So thank you. You hit the nail on the head right there. For me, I think the way I would say it is your attitude, right? Because it's all about the presence you bring into the room. You can't always control being the smartest person in the room or having the most money or the most education or fill in the blank. But for me, I feel like the one thing I can control, I'm going to be the most positive person in whatever room I walk in. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a human being. I'm gonna have my days where, it's my time of the month or whatever, and I'm not the nicest person in the world, right? But if you really focus on that and stop, reflect, take a second to think about the energy you're bringing in a space, that's really the one thing that you can control. You can have that positive attitude and really impress people. So I always keep that top of mind. I'm the one thing in life that I can control, that I can have this positive attitude. So for me, there's a couple things that this works well with, especially with preparing for interviews. So I did mention I'm a big Grey's Anatomy fan. I'm going to see if I can also share my sound so you can hear this quick video clip about.
Okay, I have everything set up. You will have all of your films, your favorite scrub nurse. What is happening?
I'm being a superhero.
Okay.
There's a scientific study that shows that if you stand like this in superhero pose for just 5 minutes before a job interview or a big presentation or a really hard task, you will not only feel more confident, you will perform measurably better.
Seriously?
Seriously. You feel it?
We're superheroes.
Okay, now everybody's gonna get up and we're gonna do the superhero pose because you have to feel it for yourself, okay? I'm gonna get up. I can only see like 2 people in the room, and now I can show off my lightsaber skirt that I wore for you all tonight. Put your feet like shoulder width apart. You can't even see my face anymore. I'd put your feet like shoulder width apart, a little wider stance, put your hands on your hips. I do like the superhero fist, put your chin up, just even hold it for like 10 seconds. I promise you, if you do this before, like just like Dr. Shepard said, and by the way, if you watch this season, you see the interns do this, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And they were like, "Oh, I saw Dr. Shepard do it once." You hold your head up high. I'm a freaking superhero. I know it feels silly. Thank you for doing that. I know it feels really silly. And you're probably like, oh, that's so goofy and like silly, but try it on your own when you're not in a group full of people, and maybe you'll feel a bit more confident, right? So again, any kind of thing that you can do. For me, I like to sing songs. I love music. So anytime I have like a big test I have to take or an interview I have to prepare for, or a presentation, I love to play one of my favorite songs and sing all the words and nail it, get every single lyric right. And it makes me feel empowered and smart and capable and just badass and just ready to go. So whatever that is for you, the superhero pose, the song, fill in the blank, control your attitude, really focus on that. Because if you have good thoughts, they will shine out of your face like sunbeams and you will always look lovely. Roald Dahl was one of my favorite authors growing up, and that was one of my favorite quotes. So think about the sunbeams coming out of your face, if you will. All right, so the next thing here, controlling your attitude in terms of life. Like I said, it could be that time of the month, it could be a flat tire, it could be a poor grade in school, it could be something that gives you those valleys and right, those in life, right, those low points. And then we have those peaks, like I got a job, I got an internship, I'm in a relationship, I got this leadership position that I, was trying to get, things like that. So those are obviously your peaks. So throughout life, over time, you're going to have your peaks, you're going to have your valleys. So really focusing on your attitude, and even for some people, your vision or your goals, that's really what's going to be able to pull you out of those valleys and skyrocket you towards those peaks during that time. And I'm going to share a couple of the tools that I use that are really helpful for me, personally and professionally. So This is just another little fun graphic that thinks about the journey of success. You might be a person who wants a better life, so you find a mentor, you invest in yourself, you learn a new skill, and then I've experienced this year because I've gone through a lot of changes personally and professionally. Your family and friends aren't going to always support the changes. It might feel like you've hit a wall, nothing's seeming to work, but I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep improving my skills. There's going to be times where everything's on fire and I think about quitting, but then I'm going to remember my why, my purpose, my goals, my vision, whatever it is for me that keeps me working. Eventually I'm going to find success, and then your family and friends are going to do what most family and friends do. And, oh, I supported you the whole time. I never doubted you for a second, right? And so once you hit that success, you're going to inspire others to change for the better as well. Hopefully some of you can somewhat relate to some of that. Hopefully your friends and family are super supportive and none of that applies to them, but I know that happens to us as well. Okay, I know I'm kind of flying through my presentation, but I want to make sure I'm respectful of your time. So this is a quick leadership concept from a very short book of the same name called, any guesses? Anybody know where I'm going with this? With the frog on the dinner plate. Any guesses, any thoughts? Okay, probably not. It's a book called Eat Your Frog. It's a really short read. It's like the skinniest book you've ever seen. And it's basically the concept of, if you have an unpleasant task to do, whether, for me, it's like working out. I don't know about you all, but I don't enjoy it. So for me, I get up at 5:45, I out of the door by 6, and I do a morning walk. So I'm not intense. I did like a HIIT workout yesterday, but I like to, mix it up. So 5:45, I wake up, 6 o'clock, I'm out the door on my 2-mile morning walk, listening to my podcast, my book, whatever it is that I want to feed my mind for the day. I charge my body for the day, and I eat my frog, right? Because I don't know about you, but again, for me, it's working out. So yesterday I didn't work out in the morning because I wasn't feeling well. And I thought, oh, I'll sleep in. And then maybe if I'm feeling better. Nope, I hit the snooze. I slept in. We're all human beings. And went out and had dinner with the person I'm mentoring. And when I came home, I went to the Cheesecake Factory and I had a slice of cheesecake. And I was like, I didn't work out today. So I'm going to feel guilty if I eat this. And I didn't exercise. So I did my little dance HIIT workout, MK Fit, if anybody follows her, I love her stuff. So I did one of her little workouts, had a super fun time, was dancing like a fool in my living room, sweating, and I ate my cheesecake and I felt so much better, right? So if you don't eat your frog, you're gonna keep pushing it off and pushing it off, pushing it off. And there's a million other things you guys will discover the more adultier you become. You have laundry to do, you have dishes in the sink, you have responsibilities, bills to pay, all these things. And a lot of you have these things now, but that's the whole point, right? Prioritize whatever task it is that you're putting off. If you work in sales, a lot of people put off picking up the phone. They avoid that, right? So you want to do it early in the morning, get it out of your way, get that most difficult task off your list. And then the rest of the day is like coasting. You're like, hey, I already worked out. What else could the day bring? Like, I can handle anything else. So hopefully that's a good concept that you could adopt for your own. Eat your frog early. And if you have 2 slimy frogs, eat the grossest, slimiest one first, and then the other one won't be, as bad. I did warn you that I'm a big Star Wars fan. You saw my lightsaber skirt, and obviously my home office here is all Star Wars. One of my absolute favorite characters is Master Yoda, not Baby Yoda. I love Baby Yoda as well, but Master Yoda is one of the best masters, in the Star Wars canon. And some of his quotes that really sustain me in leadership and, just continuing to move forward is, do or do not, there is no try. So he says that to Luke when Luke is, oh, I'll try. And he says, no, do or do not, there is no try. And then he fails. He's trying to lift something with the force and he fails. And he said, I can't do it. And so Yoda goes, watch this. And he lifts it's a spaceship out of the swamp. And Luke says to Yoda, I don't believe it. And Yoda says, that's why you fail, because you don't believe in yourself, right? And then one of my absolute favorite ones he says is pass on what you have learned, strength, mastery, but weakness, folly, failure also. Yes, failure most of all. The greatest teacher failure is. So this is a concept that I'm getting goosebumps talking about it, but this is a concept I use in my personal and professional life. I either win or I learn. I'm never a failure. Anytime there's a mistake that was made, it's a lesson I learned, and I'm going to improve that moving forward. So the greatest teacher failure is. Okay, this next one here, next concept, I know I'm flying through them. The next one is called fear, F-E-A-R. It has two meanings. Any guesses from the audience what this acronym might mean? What does fear mean? There's like a couple different meanings. Okay. So for me, I've heard like 3 different things. It's face everything and run, or face everything and rise. But I would argue that fear is actually false evidence appearing real, because we do this all the time. We tell ourselves a story. We operate on assumptions. We operate on feelings and not facts. It's human nature, right? You're in the jungle back in the cave age or whatever, Stone Age, and you're faced with the choice to run or be dinner, right? Fight or flight. So our human nature is to make these quick assumptions, right? And make a decision. So once upon a time today, I told myself, my senior vice president of my department put a 10-minute meeting on my calendar with no context, just slapped a meeting on there. And then employee relations, which is like the team that helps negotiate any issues with employees, also put a 10-minute meeting on my calendar. And I thought, what do you think I thought? I'm in trouble. I got called twice to the principal's office today, right? So I told myself a story. Oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? I'm thinking, what did I say to somebody? I'm in trouble. Oh my goodness. And I get in the first meeting and the senior vice president says, no, I just heard that things were really busy this month. So I wanted to check in and see how you're feeling, what you're thinking, how you're doing, how I can help you. And then the end of the meeting, he was like, keep kicking ass. You're doing a great job, right? False evidence appearing real. Then I do my meeting with employee relations with ER, and they said the same thing. Yeah, we just do these meetings once a quarter with employees to talk to them about what's going well and what we can improve. Again, false evidence appearing real. So don't tell yourself a story, tell yourself facts. Don't operate off assumptions, as difficult as it can be sometimes. All right. It's never too late. I have a couple examples of some folks that overcame adversity and achieved some of these really awesome goals. So let's see here. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team, and now he is arguably one of the most famous basketball players of all time, and his net worth is 1.6 billion. Jay-Z couldn't get signed to any record label, so he actually created his own, and he's now worth 500 million. Oprah was a teen mom who actually lost her child. Her child died. Eventually, she had a talk show that failed before the Oprah show, and she overcame all of that and has her own network on TV now, and her net worth is 2.9 billion. Stephenie Meyer, the author of Twilight, received 14 out of 15 letters that she sent in to publishers rejecting her from literary agencies. One publisher recognized her talent and published her first of the 4 books in the Twilight saga. 100 million copies translated into 37 languages. And then obviously, as you can see in the photo, a really big popular smash film franchise. J-Lo was homeless. She slept in her dance studio until when she was 18. And now we know she's worth $400 million and one of the most successful triple threats of all time, right? So just keep that in mind. If you're like, oh man, I've gone through all these circumstances to bring me to where I am today, and I don't know if it's in the cards for me. It's absolutely in the cards for you. It's never too late. this is just a fun like meme or whatever you want to call it about talent. 10 things that require zero talent. Being on time. That takes preparation, it takes skill, it takes forethought, it takes planning, work ethic and effort, body language, energy, attitude, passion, being coachable, doing extra, being prepared. I feel like all of this requires effort, right? I feel like everything here really kind of requires number 3, but none of this requires any special skills or talent, right? These are things that every leader should be capable of doing. And because it requires zero talent, just requires some effort and forethought, right? So just a fun one to think about. All right, I know we're moving along fast, but we're getting towards the end here. This is the one thing I'm so excited to talk about. Okay, so this concept was introduced to me probably about 6 or 7 years ago when I first started my career. A lot of people have a vision statement that they read every morning, and I like to do that as well. But what was super motivating for me was thinking about the things that I want to do before I die. But I'm an optimist, right? I'm the most positive person in the room. So instead of a bucket list, it's a to-do list. It's 100 things I want to do while I'm alive. So I keep this on my phone in my notes app in the cloud, of course, because I don't want to lose it. But if I type in 100 things I want to do, I can pull it up in a second. But basically, this is, I'm sorry, it's my to-do list. It's not 100 things. If I want to pull it up, basically what I have on the list is like all the things that I want to accomplish within my lifetime, right? So there's a ton of different things. I have this huge list here of all these things I want to do, right? So it doesn't have to be something that you accomplish every year. For me, I really try to focus on 2 things on the list. Here it is, sorry. Here's the actual list. I think I have more than 100 now. I have 102. I need to add some more. But I've tried to check off 2 of them every year. So I gave this presentation to some of my students internally just a couple months ago. And they were like, oh, what's the most recent thing you checked off your list? And I was like, don't hold me accountable, right? Because I'm a human being and I make mistakes. So I was like, okay, you guys are right. I need to do it. So I checked one thing off my list and I went to Disneyland for the first time. I've been to Disney World a million times because I live in Tampa. And I'm super close like you guys are here in Gainesville, but I wanted to go to Disneyland forever. And so I made it happen. I went to both parks. I went all by myself. I paid for the hotel, paid for the tickets, paid for all the food, all the souvenirs, did all the things I wanted to do and saved up my money and had the best time ever. I'm the best company I ever had, guys. I'm here to tell you. So whatever that is for you, it doesn't have to be 100 things. And typically you'll sit there and you'll get to like number 30 or 40 and you're going to start to struggle. And then, you could talk about it with family and friends and they'll be like, oh, well, didn't you always want to do blah, blah, blah. I've never been out of the United States. I want to go to France. I want to go to Disneyland Paris, right? I want to continue my Disney trips. So this is a great concept that keeps me going, especially on days where I'm overwhelmed or I'm not feeling motivated. I can pull out my to-do list and I can look at, ooh, yeah, I totally forgot about that glass bottom hotel in the Maldives that I want to go to someday. That's going to motivate me to keep going, right? So I might not ever make it there, but it's on my list. Okay, and then I'm going to very quickly introduce this basic concept of a vision. For me, it's picking a date in the future, but using the present tense. So for my vision, I always pick a date of significance. And for me, I love Christmas. I love Halloween too. But for me, Christmas is the end of the year, work-wise. We have new goals coming up in the next year. So I always try to pick December 25th as a point to reflect on. And so when I read my vision, I say, today is December 25th, 2021. And then I talk about stuff that makes me uncomfortable. Right? Your goals are going to make your palms sweat a little bit. Your vision should make your palms sweat. Like I put in my vision, I bought a house this year. I was like, ooh, right? That's a big goal. And I did it already. This is my new house that I'm in. Right? Don't overthink it. You can rewrite it. You can draft it. You can draft it again over and over. Have those multiple drafts. Visualize it, use all your senses. I like to pick Christmas morning because it's easy for me to picture. I can smell the breakfast that my dad makes every year. I can hear my mom popping the champagne bottles for our mimosas, for our little Christmas like mimosa bar that we do, right? I can hear my dog barking to wake me up, even though I want to sleep in on Christmas morning, right? Use all of your senses. Think about what you're smelling, what you're hearing, what you're tasting, what you're experiencing, what you're feeling, right? When you're comfortable, share this vision with other people. Find 3 accountability buddies. So 3 partners that will keep you accountable, and check in with you and say, hey, I know on your vision, you talked about achieving this goal by the end of the 3rd quarter, and it's October. How's that going? Right? And check back in and see how it's going. For me, it's super efficient and really effective if I read it once in the morning and once before bed. But again, I'm a human being. We make mistakes. I try my hardest to read it at least once in the morning. And the easiest way to do that, if you want to do it once in the morning, once a night, you can print it out and stick it on your bathroom mirror when you brush your teeth. So hopefully you're brushing your teeth in the morning and at night, right? Okay, so I really appreciate you participating tonight and making this super fun. Like I said, I'm a big professional development nerd. I love talking about all the things. Thanks for doing the superhero pose. I wanted to hear what some of your nuggets were, some of your takeaways, and then open it up for any questions.
If you want to, or unmute on Zoom. But I guess one of my takeaways is definitely like managing and getting through those like peaks and valleys, especially like during the fall semester, everything's so jammed and packed. So it's kind of hard to lose track of where you are and recognize your accomplishments. And yeah.
Yep. And having that vision or that to-do list, whatever it is for you, that's motivating, it will definitely help, because there's going to always be those days, because that's what makes life so interesting. And that's what makes the peaks that much more rewarding, is when we've experienced the valleys, right? You kind of have to have the bitter to have the sweet. What are some other nuggets or takeaways? I'm probably just making y'all hungry for chicken nuggets.
When you talked about like failure being a way to like teach you and like help you learn, that was like really powerful. It took away, it kind of like helped motivate me and stay inspired to like keep going. And
yeah, I love that. Yeah, there's a book called Grit by Angela Duckworth. It's a great book. And she talks about in the book where she has her family dinner every night with her 2 young daughters. And she always asks them to share how they failed that day. And she gets excited. She's like, yeah, you messed up, because she like wants them to learn. So she tries to reframe their thoughts around failure and be like, yay, like you failed, like you learned something. So it might be like something small, like, oh, I forgot my car keys or whatever. But she's like, okay, what did you learn? And like reframes it and tries to make it a more positive thing, if that kind of makes sense. It's funny.
A takeaway that I had, the one that we just talked about your vision, I really, really like that, just because I think it can be used to put the bigger picture just like in the frame. You know, I think in our day-to-day lives we get lost about like an end goal that we might have, or what we're actually working towards when we're caught up, especially now, you know, in the middle of the semester. So just having that vision, reminding yourself of it every day, is a really good way to stay focused.
Yeah, and I'll show you really quick. This is what my personal vision looks like. This is an older one because I could just quickly grab it from my Google Drive. So I always have a picture of my family. So this is my mom and dad and my younger brother. And then down here I have pictures with like all my friends, my interns, me going to Disney, me eating pizza, me spending time with people, going to theater. And I put my, like I told you guys, 8 a.m. Oh, sorry, this is like going all over the place. You can't really see, but it says it's 8 a.m. on December 25th. This is from 2019. And Roscoe's my dog. I said, Roscoe doesn't even let me sleep in on Christmas. He's excited for his Christmas bark box. And I said, my dad's making pancakes and I'm looking for a bottle of champagne to make mimosas. My mom's putting our stockings together. And as I reflect on my hard work, I think of my word pivot for the year 2019. So I always like to pick a word for the year too. And then down here, I talk about my goals for the year, about how many people I recruited, how many bonuses I got, how many books I read, how I worked on my relationship with my mom, how I go to theater more, how I've spent time more at Disney. I went on a cruise, I went to Puerto Rico. I didn't do everything on this list, but writing this stuff down, you're going to accomplish about 80% of the stuff on that vision just because you wrote it down and you read it every day. So make it fun, make it cute. It doesn't have to be just like black and white on a piece of paper. Put pictures on it if you're going to look at it every day. That always makes me so happy to see all my friends and family smiling on my vision.
Awesome. Any other questions, takeaways?
Great. Well, I put my LinkedIn URL in the chat, so if you would like to connect, we can. Like I said, we have a lot of internship opportunities, so feel free to just send me a direct message and we can chat more about that if you're interested or have questions. And the Sales Career Accelerator is coming up really soon. Is there anybody like considering applying that I should be on the lookout for, that I can try to rush your application through the process? If not, no worries, just curious, just want to make sure to help get the ball down the field where I can. Okay, no worries. Well, if so, feel free to send me a LinkedIn message. But if not, I look forward to connecting and just networking. And it was great to meet all of you tonight. Thanks for having me again.
Thank you so much, Alyssa. Thank you.
Thanks for the applause. That's so sweet.